come live. I'm going to wait till a few people come on in the building. Make sure as you come on in that you hit the like button. And if you have yet to subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well. Y'all. Oh, child. Let me tell y'all. Hold on. We're going to wait for a minute. Let me put my little lip on real quick. I said I was going to do a live this afternoon. But I decided to do it now because I have been watching YouTube white content creators talk about the Tuskegee mass shooting. And they have gotten it wrong. And it's kind of irritating me. And I probably, normally I wouldn't say anything. But I know that the information that they are saying is incorrect and they are speculating a lot of things. And I'm gonna wait till some people come in here to really talk about it because it kind of ticked me off. Y'all know me, I have to talk about it. It kind of really ticked me off when I heard that. I just got finished watching a live from a YouTube content creator, and normally I watch him all the time when it comes to different crime or whatever, but knowing the inside information I have about this Tuskegee mass shooting, and with him giving incorrect information, kind of make me want to be like, I'm not gonna watch him no more. So I talked about the Tuskegee shooting this morning, right, on my channel on a live show. Well, I was watching JLR Investigates, and I pretty much watch him a lot because I thought he gave good commentary. And he started talking about the Tuskegee shooting, y'all, and he was saying it's possibly gang activity, and like this was a pop-up party, and how could the college let this go on? First of all, they were saying it was an apartment building. It was not an apartment building. These were the actual dorms of Tuskegee. This was on the outside of the dorms in the parking lot. And I said this morning that when my daughter walked up on or drove up to the party, or whether she walked up on, it's like a little kickback, little get together. It probably was between 800 to 1,000 people out there. And I don't know if I showed the photo of how many people was there. If I did, I will make sure I put it on my community tab, but how many people were actually there. But anyway, it's about 800 to 1,000 people there. There's a lot of people there, right? My daughter said when she walked up on it, normally it's campus security usually be there at the kickbacks. And a lot of people won't understand if they didn't go to a HBCU. This is something that they do all the time. There is nothing surrounding Tuskegee. Tuskegee is a very small area. When I tell you it is so small, the only thing they have there is a Dollar General. They don't even have Walmart there. The closest town is Auburn, and then the next closest town is Montgomery. There is nothing surrounding that area. It's a really kind of like a destitute area. If anybody know anything about the Tuskegee experiment, like even the people that are surrounded, and I didn't talk about this morning, but even the people that live in the Tuskegee area, a lot of them had that Tuskegee experiment on them. And so when you look at the people, because I've been down there, when you look at the people there at Tuskegee, they look like, how can I put it? Like they have different abnormalities. Like something is wrong. And these are the locals that are around. Not all the locals, but of a large amount of the locals around there you will see some of the people with different abnormalities. And that's from the Tuskegee experiment. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go do your history. So anyway, number one, there's not that many there. That is a very small town. 2 is a very small institution, really small institution. It is so small that the security guard shack from where the West Commons was is nowhere. It's like nowhere. So if security should have been on campus, but let's talk about Tuskegee security. Let's just be clear about it, because I've been on campus. They like mall cops, security mall cops. If people like, oh, they got security like that. Yes. Why do they have security like that? Tuskegee is a private institution. It's a HBCU. They don't have money like that. Not like the PWIs. Like, of course, security is going to be different from like a Mississippi State or a University of Alabama or Ole Miss College. Security is going to be way different. That's number one, because they have the money. Tuskegee don't. Although Tuskegee is a prestigious HBCU, let's be clear. Anybody been on Tuskegee campus? Y'all know they like mall cops. Sometimes they check your ID, sometimes they don't. And then with the influx of people, I would assume this past weekend, having 80-some thousand people on campus, and mind you, they had just played Miles College. They just played the homecoming game. After they left the homecoming game, which is on campus, the football field's on campus. After they left there, I think my daughter told me she slept for a few hours, and then they had like a little kickback. Was it broadcasted like on social media they was gonna have a kickback? No, because they always have a kickback. Like a kickback is like a little get together, okay? Mind you, of course, it's gonna be more people on homecoming weekend because people are coming in from everywhere. You got alumni there, you have students there, you got the locals that are on campus, locals from everywhere. As you know, the person who got unalived was from Troy, Alabama. The person who they arrested on yesterday was from Montgomery, okay? And mind you, even the Tuskegee police officers are lax. It's a small town. I was listening to JLR Investigates, and he was like, well, how come they didn't have a press conference? Hello, this is Tuskegee. This is not Tampa, Florida. It's not even Tupelo, Mississippi, where I live. This is Tuskegee. I don't even know what the population is of Tuskegee, but it's small. Really small. They got a what? I think they got a McDonald's there. They don't even have that many places to eat. You have to go to Auburn to really get anything or get food or something. Or you have to go to Montgomery. There is nothing surrounding that area. And so they were like, I don't know, it really kind of upset me to see you got white content creators saying that it was gang activity. Just because they black don't mean it's gangs. Hello, my daughter got her chemical engineering degree from Tuskegee. The people that were on campus, they were civilians. And mind you, like I said, I don't know exactly how they did security this homecoming weekend because I wasn't able to ask my daughter. What I do know is that if security was so freaking tight, even after the shooting occurred, my daughter would not been able to get back on campus. She went back on campus. She went back on campus to retrieve her purse. Like, where was the police then? Like, there was a Tuskegee policeman has stated that when they arrived on the scene, now mind you, my daughter called me at 1:08 a.m. on Sunday morning. They are reporting that the shooting occurred at 1:40, which is not true. You have to go to fast food to get food. Right. So, they are reporting the shooting occurred at 1:40, which is absolutely incorrect. The shooting had already taken place. Matter of fact, the shooting had to happen at the tail end of 12. And I got to ask my daughter exactly what time did it occur. She just don't want to talk about it right now. She looking for a daggone therapist to go see for post-traumatic stress disorder because she can't stand loud noises and all this other. She having nightmares because of what occurred on early Sunday morning, late Saturday night. But, you know, it's just this misinformation, and they trying to chalk it up to gang violence. This is my theory. This is what I say. And I don't know this to be true. All I know is I asked my daughter, I said, what was going on prior to the shooting? What was going on? She was like, Mama, everything was cool. Everybody was vibing out. You know, mind you, there were people all over the parking lot. People everywhere, right? I'm like, what's going on? They playing music or whatever. And she has showed me a picture of these guys standing on this car. And they were playing music from the car. She said they looked super young. She said it was a white girl who was there tatted up. She said she did not look like a Tuskegee graduate or a student. She looked like a local. And she said the guys that were with her looked super young, okay? These people were standing on top of a vehicle. I saw the photo, and then it was like people walking. There was cars coming by. And she said the music was coming from there. She said people started to run first. She said the running came from that area. She said once they started running, everybody started running. And then gunfire started. She said gunfire was coming from everywhere. You can even tell on the video, like if you watch the video, you can see the light from the guns from on this side, on that side, was coming from everywhere. So my theory is, and my daughter said the same thing, once gunfire started, everybody started to pull their weapon. Because she said the guy she was in the car with, once she hopped on the ground, she said she was trying to get up underneath a vehicle, but her and somebody else had got inside of a vehicle, and somebody she didn't even know. And the guy was like, I'm about to pull out my gun. And she was like, she didn't even know the guy. And she was like, no, don't do that. Like, she was scared for a minute because he was getting ready to pull out his gun. Because it's like this. If me and my husband go somewhere and it's gunfire, what's going to happen? My husband going to pull out his weapon. And it's the same with the people there. You silly to think that people don't have weapons. I don't know what the laws are in Alabama. I don't even know I think they're at Tuskegee. If I can remember, I don't think you can have weapons on campus. I think if it's what I remember, you cannot. Matter of fact, you cannot have a weapon on campus. Because I remember when Jazz first went to Tuskegee, I was trying to get her a taser. I think I was trying to get her a taser. And I don't think she was supposed to have a taser. I think. So anyway, just bad misinformation. Hold on, let me see. Good afternoon, Kimmy and Chat. You're absolutely right. A very small community. My daughter just moved back from Florida, and her dad's from Alabama. College literally was in her backyard. See, people don't understand that. And then you get these, and I hate to say it, you get these white content creators trying to label black people, and it pissed me off. I don't know why my notifications weren't on, because if they were on, I would have went on JLR Investigate show and tell him, like, for one, it's a very, very, very small town. Two, crime is really bad around that area. And it ain't the people on Tuskegee. It's other people. It's the locals. And first of all, then another thing, he was like, well, this normally doesn't happen. Like, they don't have shootings. Yes, they do. They just had a shooting in September at Tuskegee. Do your research. Not only that, my daughter, while she was at Tuskegee, I think she had witnessed one of her classmates being pow, unalived. For real, I'm straight up. She witnessed one of her classmates being unalived. Matter of fact, surrounding that area, if you know anything about that area down there, there's a place called Shorter, Alabama. My cousin was unalive. Anaya Blanchard. Look it up. I think Jazz was either a freshman or a sophomore. I can't remember. She was either a freshman or a sophomore. My cousin, Anaya Blanchard, was murdered in Shorter, Alabama. And that ain't nowhere from Tuskegee. And she was living in Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery, the crime is horrible down there. And really and truly, most of your HBCUs are in black areas. Look at, what is that? Most of your HBCUs are positions either in the hood or in bad areas. I'm just being real about it. So, you know, some of these people are getting the facts wrong. And they're saying, oh, it was an unauthorized party. This is something that the university knew was going to happen. I don't know that to be true, but I know my daughter said they always do that at the West Commons. And mind you, it's homecoming weekend. If you see, like, I wish I could have showed y'all what was going on. It was like a black cookout all weekend. They were all in the streets. They had DJs on the side, like in the grass or whatever, playing music. They were line dancing. Like, it was just one big black cookout, just like a family reunion. They had tents of vendors and foods all throughout the campus. Of course, they was not going to have people get escorted off the campus after that Miles game. And mind you, like some people might have said, well, maybe it was a rivalry. Maybe Miles was upset. Why would Miles get upset? Miles College beat Tuskegee, beat the brakes off of them. Miles College is in between, right outside of Birmingham, is it? I think Miles College is right outside of Birmingham. But anyway, that was the homecoming game. So a lot of people was hanging over from that game, y'all. It was a lot of people there. I told y'all this morning on this morning's show that my daughter told me that she wouldn't talk to me until Monday morning because the cell phone towers could not handle the influx of people down there. It was over 80,000 people down there, and Tuskegee can't handle that. Cell phone towers could not handle that. When I was on the phone with Jazz Sunday morning, we got disconnected, and she had to call me back. We stayed on the phone for 20 minutes. Matter of fact, I probably need to screenshot that too, because the times are absolutely wrong. Like, I cannot believe people are really getting it wrong. And it made me really think about how news is really talked about. The news be wrong. The news is wrong. They got the daggone time wrong. They said the shooting happened at 1:40. I know that to be a straight up bald-faced lie, because my daughter called me at 1:08 Sunday morning, and they had already been shooting. Matter of fact, we stayed on the phone about, like I said, 20 minutes. And at the tail end of the call, you could start hearing the ambulance and the police started to come in. And I stayed on the phone with my daughter, and I was like, are the police there? Hey, Kimmy, you're looking beautiful. What's up, Chatty Kathy? Thank you. I don't know, y'all. It just, I don't know. Maybe it upset me because I know what happened, because I was on the phone with my daughter and I was asking her a million questions. Like, did you see this? Did you see that? Like, could you identify the person? She was like, she never did see the actual, because I was like, did the gunman have like mask on their face? She was like, no. And no. I think she said no, but she said she couldn't identify who they were. But she said, because the first thing she said to me, she was like, Mom, I know you think I've been drinking. I ain't even been drinking tonight. And I was like, well, what happened? And then another thing she told me, she said the younger crowd, it was like a different type of crowd that was there at Tuskegee. She said they were high on drugs. They had been like drinking or whatever. She was like, it was so eerie. She said, it's like your sixth sense. Because she said when she first got there, she noticed the campus police was not there. And normally when they have a kickback, campus police is always there. So sad, can't go anywhere these days without the fear of violence. Exactly. And she said, normally campus police is there. Campus police was not there. And she said when she saw that, she should have left, but she stayed there. She stayed for a little bit because she was with her friends, not just students. It was alumni there. Now, my daughter has been graduated. She graduated in 2022, right? So the young alumni was there. The older alumni was partying somewhere else on campus in the tents, having a whole different separate party. And I could be wrong about that. I'm just going by the videos that I saw on different alumni who pages I follow on Facebook. I was going through their page and seeing, I was like, oh crap. But anyway, because a lot of the older alumni was not at this kickback. These were young alumni and students. That's who were there. And when I tell you it was a lot of people, and when I say that there's probably going to be somebody knows what happened, because there were, like, from the photo that my daughter sent me, there were people walking past that car, girls walking past. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Somebody saw something. I also talked about how my daughter said right before the shooting occurred, there was a drone flying over the parking lot. Y'all know that daggone drone picked up everything. Somebody got some footage somewhere. Will they talk? I don't know. What should have happened was, and I'm just being real, when this stuff really popped off, when the police got there, they should have locked down the daggone campus. That campus was not locked down. My daughter was going in and out. Because I was like, you going to be able to get back on? They ain't lock it down. They should have locked it down. They shouldn't have let nobody leave because somebody knew something. I was reading on Twitter. There were more injuries than what was reported. There were people that were trampled on. There were people that were shot. There was one guy said his arm and his knee had been busted up. He went back to the house, because you got to think, Georgia ain't nowhere from Tuskegee. Atlanta ain't nowhere from Tuskegee. A lot of people live in Atlanta that are alumni from Tuskegee. Not only that, but you got to think, other HBCUs do come down and support other HBCUs. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people there that did not go to Tuskegee. Matter of fact, I was getting ready to go to the Tuskegee homecoming. I really was. My cousin asked me, she was like, my cousin was like, well, we're going to have an RV and we're going to have 2 tents. We cooking soul food. You coming? I was like, nah, I ain't coming. Caiden was sick this weekend. I was like, nah, I'm not coming. She was like, well, is Jazz going to be there? I was like, yeah, Jazz going to be there. But it be a lot of people there who are not alumni. That's just what it is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just got to be black to understand it. I understand it. I assume that they're going to crack down on crowd sizes and parties because, of course, there should have been security there. There definitely should have been security. There was somebody else on Twitter as well. I was reading right after it happened, like about 1 something in the morning. Like after I got off the phone with my daughter, I started checking social media to see, because I wanted to see how bad was it. And it was, this one girl said that when the chief of police showed up to Tuskegee, he didn't even have a weapon. He did not have a weapon. I was like, wow, who are you gonna get? But you gotta think, Tuskegee is a small area. They had to reach out to the surrounding counties like Auburn and Montgomery for police to come there, because you have to experience Tuskegee to really understand it. I ain't understand it until I experienced it. Like, dang, this is a small area. So I don't know, y'all. I just had to talk about that this morning because I cannot stand when people get misinformation. It burns me up. Y'all go ahead and hit the like button, please, and thank you. I decided to go live to talk about this. I'm So let me talk about this right here. So JLR investigators was like, he assumed that it's going to be a lot more arrests, which it possibly could be. But he said he think it's a group of people that came down there to do that. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I believe that I don't know. I believe well, the one thing he was saying was they didn't have any murder charges for the guy who had the weapon. Everyone, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. They said, oh, what's up, Sylvia? They said they did not have the they didn't have that guy, that 25-year-old guy that got arrested yesterday. They didn't have him down for murder. They had him down for having an automatic weapon and something else. If no one actually said it was him and they saw him actually shoot somebody, because mind you, you heard different weapons going off, right, in different areas. You don't know if his weapon was the one who actually unalived that 18-year-old boy. What has to be done? They have to run what? Ballistics. I know that. You got to run ballistics. So for him to be charged with murder, they have to run ballistics on the bullet that was found in the 18-year-old. Now, anything else, like if there were different, they said like 12 people were shot. So if there were different bullets in each one of those 12 people, that means it was different weapons used. It was different people. There's a lot of gang activity in the city now, though, Kimmy. And I mean a lot. There's a lot of gang activity in Montgomery. Montgomery crime is bad. I don't believe it's gang activity. I don't. Because they had already been down there for a long time, chilling, partying. The thing was, say if it was gang activity, if they was really going to do something, because then they would have came initially to do that, right? Rather than to party for a little bit and then strike out gunfire. Because they was shooting everybody. Any and everybody. People was getting hit that ain't got nothing to do with that. Like I said, my daughter's friend, he's an alumni. He don't even live in Tuskegee no more. He got shot in the ankle. He ain't had nothing to do with that. There was this, and I forgot to talk about this. There was this one girl, my daughter told me this girl was begging for her life for the gunman to not shoot her. She was begging for her life. Come on now. The same thing happened just last month at Albany State homecoming. HBCUs, you got to do more to secure the schools, especially during homecoming. Really, they got to do, Sylvia, they got to do better all year round for security. When I tell you, this is not the first shooting. This is just the first shooting that's been reported, especially at Tuskegee. My daughter's friend, classmate, had got unalive due to gunfire on campus. And this is like the 4th time she's experienced shooting from Tuskegee. They got to do better all around. And that goes to us black people supporting HBCUs. If you don't send your kids to the school, how they going to have money in the first place? If alumni don't give back to these schools, how they going to have money? My 9-year-old granddaughter told me when I visited after they moved there 3 years ago, they did not go after it gets dark. Wow. Your granddaughter's down there from Tuskegee? Really? It's getting ridiculous. It's us against our own. Yes. It's real bad. But you know what? And then another thing is, let's be clear. Black people got to stop stealing the money. Y'all know what happened at Jackson State when Deion Sanders got down there. He was saying, and he tried to prove it too, that they were taking that daggone money. Black folks got to stop stealing that daggone money. But, I'm telling you, I know for a fact, because every time we go to Tuskegee, I call them the mall cops. Because they ain't even got no real gun. They don't even have a real gun down there. I done been through the security. They got one security checkpoint, and that's at the front gate. I'm telling you, they know how to finesse the system. And I know they did not have enough security to withstand that very large crowd size. They didn't. And really and truly, they should have broke up the crowd with the crowd of that magnitude. And you know them kids and adults, because my daughter's an adult. Kids and adults have been drinking. I ain't saying my daughter was drinking, but I'm sure everybody, that's what they do. They drinking. Them young folks doing drugs, smoking weed, whatever else they be doing. Listen, when you mix some combinations together, people get violent. People be angry. They get violent. And if they got a weapon on them, they gonna use it. Security got to get better. And if we don't watch it, HBCUs will become extinct. It won't be HBCUs. Remember, we talked about this morning. The HBCU in Tennessee last week was set on fire. Another one, what was that? Tennessee something. They had a shooting during homecoming. I didn't know Albany, what did she say? Albany said, I didn't know they had a shooting too. I'm telling you. And it ain't just gang activity that's going to cause people to shoot. I'm telling you, when you mix those combinations together, alcohol and drugs, or just alcohol by itself, and you get a young person, you get an old person. They ain't, child, they don't need to be having no weapon. Then I thought that 18-year-old parent, first of all, if he was still, oh, I hate them bugs. Oh, I hate them bugs. So the boy was 18 years old. It didn't say he was in college anywhere. He was from Troy, Alabama. The boy that got unalived. If he was still at home with his parents and possibly still in high school, he could possibly still be in high school. Which they didn't say he was a high school student, so he must have graduated, because that picture that they showed had him with a graduation hat. So he probably had graduated. What you doing at Tuskegee anyway? Who you know down there? Who done invited you? First, they need to find out what student was dating that guy, inviting him down there. Because I know when my daughter had a boyfriend, she was dating a guy he went to the University of Alabama. He didn't go to Tuskegee. He was down there at Tuskegee all the time when he wasn't supposed to be. I'm just saying. They need more security. They need more security. Real talk. Way more security. Because I promise you, they should have broke that up. 800 to 1,000 people down there. Y'all should have saw that crowd size. It was unfreaking real. I was like, oh my God. Like, you could barely walk. Let alone cars ride through the campus. And during that time, it's one way in, one way out. Because I know they blocked off the rest of those exits. They always do. One way in, one way out. That's a disaster. And that little old small guard shack is so small. Let's see. My question is, why is it really happening? You're not hearing about shootings at PWI homecoming events. Wow. One, everybody this is my belief. Everybody that has been to Tuskegee knows security is laxed. That's number one. Two, you can't pull that daggum, like if that was an unauthorized, of course it had to be an unauthorized party because it wasn't in a building. It was outside in a parking lot, right outside the West Commons dorms. My daughter used to stay in them dorms before she got her apartment, before she became Miss Tuskegee. She used to stay in them dorms. So it's just a big, large parking lot. So, it was, of course, unauthorized. I'm not going to say the campus did not know it was going to happen, because this is what happens all the time. They always meet up. It probably was just an influx of people, which they should have already been. Campus faculty, security should have already figured that was going to happen, especially with it being homecoming weekend. They do this every homecoming. They meet out there in the West Commons. This is what they do. And this is what my daughter told me. This is what they do. Ain't no different. They should have broke it up a long time ago. You're right. From the locals talk about the gang activity and what they're doing to almost non-exist town. I can't imagine that many people there. Y'all, I'm telling you, over 80. Listen, go on Facebook and just type in Tuskegee Homecoming 2024 and look at those videos of how many people was there. Y'all, it was so many daggone people down there. I was like, oh my God. Just the people alone, I don't want to be around that many people. I'm trying to figure out how in the world all them people fit in Tuskegee. Tuskegee is so freaking small. Very small campus. It ain't like Ole Miss or these big universities. It's small. When I say small, small. A lot of the campus have abandoned buildings. Very small campus. I don't even know what the enrollment number is. I know last year it was down. The year before that, the enrollment number was down as well. And I would assume, because Tuskegee has always been a prestigious college, and if you've known, they are not letting media on campus. They don't want people to know that. They don't want people to really know what's going on. I told y'all this morning that they were saying the people that were there at this shooting, who was at this party that saw what happened, were saying that there were more bodies than what they were reporting. I don't know how true that is, but, you know, it's their word against everybody, because they're not letting news media in there. That's a private institution. They're not letting nobody on there to report what's really going on. I'm just glad that my daughter is gone. I really wanted Caden to go to Tuskegee, but I don't know. They're going to have to, that's a long time for when he got to go, but I just hope and pray things get better. But what I will say, Sylvia, because you said, why aren't they talking about it? A lot of things that happen on PWIs don't happen on Tuskegee. The good part about Tuskegee is my daughter's freshman year, she got hit from the rear by an 18-wheeler. We're all the way in Mississippi, right? The faculty took it upon themselves to take care of that girl. They took her to the hospital. They paid for her medicines. They had her, well, thank God my cousin is actually down there that live around the area. If anybody know anything about Tuskegee, then you know about Freddie Gray and all them. That's my family. So when that happened with Jazz, she was able to stay with our cousins for like 2 weeks. She didn't have to stay in the dorms. Faculty was really good about helping her, and it was like family helping her. Matter of fact, we didn't even go down there because they were helping her so much, and they spreaded their arms of love around her that we knew she was taken care of. Matter of fact, there was a lady down there, I'm not going to say her name, but she was a former Miss Tuskegee, and she took my daughter in her home like that was her own child. She gave my daughter a key to her vehicle. Anytime Jazz wanted to get off campus, she could go there and she could wash her clothes. She could stay the weekend. She could eat, come and go as she pleased. And this was just alumni reaching out a helping hand to help another Black sister. You know, you don't find that a lot. Let's say Sylvia, PWI have the worst mass shootings. They do. I call it a town. I call it a city. The police should have prepared and called in help prior to. Probably should have. But they probably, listen, I'm telling you, they've been having these homecoming events like this. And this is a big thing. This is a big thing. Alumni go back This is a real big thing, but they probably was not expecting this, and shame on them. With them being security, with the police, they should have got with local police, Tuskegee police, although they small, then they should have called on help from Auburn and Montgomery or whoever they had to pull from to potentially prepare for the unexpected. Because you never know what happens. Times have changed. I'm speaking about homecoming events. All of my kids went to universities in Georgia, and I don't recall shootings at homecoming events. That is true. That is true. But I will tell you, a lot of stuff happens at these HBCUs that never make the news. None of the shootings that I talked about, those 3 different shootings that happened at Tuskegee, none of them made the news. Not a one. And I did not think this wouldn't have made the news if those videos that those kids that took those videos, if they didn't go viral. Because for hours, I have been checking the news, checking it. Nothing was out. Normally, when there's shootings, like right away, the media is there. I'm telling you, this happened like after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nothing was out in the media. I'm like, where's everybody at? Ain't nobody saying nothing. It didn't get picked up to them videos went viral. Once they went viral, the news was out. Because of course you know it was gonna go viral because listen at the video, the daggone video. That sounded like they was at war. It was bad, y'all. I think that's why a lot of times we don't hear about what's going on. I believe a lot of times a lot of this stuff have been going on, but it hasn't been picked up by the media. One, it hasn't been as bad. 2, they keep a lot of stuff in-house. A lot of stuff in-house. Y'all would be surprised how much they keep in-house. Really. And I'm not saying all HBCUs are crime-free. They're not. They are not crime-free. A lot of stuff, Sylvia, okay, got you. I believe a lot of stuff go on, like I said, and it's just not being picked up. Oh, I know my daughter helped her dad with his selling seafood. They was caught up in it until 3:30 a.m. Dang. I don't know, y'all. It's just... I'm sorry I had to talk about this again, but when I saw that video of JLR Investigates talking about it and he was spitting out misinformation, I was like, just horrible information. And he's sitting up there guessing of what possibly could have happened. Have a wonderful Veterans Day going in Fridays. Girl, when I pick up Caden, we going straight to Applebee's. We're going straight to Applebee's. Time I pick him up. I'm going to eat free, pay for Caden. He ain't going to eat that much no way, though. And prayers for Caden's tutor. Her sister passed away yesterday, so he won't be going to tutoring. I was telling my mama, I sure hate that happened, because now I got to figure out how to tutor Caden this week for his test on Friday. I got to figure out how to tutor him, y'all. How to get him ready for his test. Lord bless it. Because Caden been making some good grades. Get your Texas Roadhouse voucher. You know what? Happy Veterans Day. Thank you, Toy G. I can get a voucher from Texas Roadhouse. Child, let me swing by there when I leave Applebee's. Because I love Texas Roadhouse. Love them. But y'all, I got to figure out how me and Caden going to get this work done this week. He love his tutor. But prayers go out to my to Caden's tutor, Miss Doss. Her sister passed away on yesterday, her younger sister, and she was so tore up. I told her, shoot, take as much time as you need. I can handle it. I really can't, though. But I'm going to try. But since Caden's been working with her, he's been getting hundreds on his test, 95s. He been killing it, y'all. He really have. It's hot out here, y'all. My lips sweating. He has been killing it, so... I just hope and pray I do a good job tutoring Caden today. A matter of fact, I'm going to ask my daughter's friend, Mr. her Mr. Tuskegee. I'm going to ask him some questions today because Jazz don't want to answer me. Y'all, she's having a real hard time dealing with this. I'm talking about a real hard time. I feel so bad for her. She was like, Mama, I don't like loud noises. I had a nightmare, popping sounds. I said, girl, that sounds like PTSD to me. Well, she's supposed to be getting her talking to a therapist, but I feel so bad for her because I don't wish PTSD on nobody. Nobody. Yes, I drove up and they came to the truck and gave her a voucher for a free meal. Ooh, child. Let me go over there to Texas Roadhouse after I eat at Applebee's. And y'all, I'm on this daggone Ozempic, so y'all know I ain't gonna eat that much. It be kind of making me, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Nobody else, I don't know if anybody else feel like me, but Ozempic makes me mad sometimes. Because I be enjoying my food or the way it tastes, and I can eat 3 to 4 bites and that's it. And then I get mad. Like, I be wanting to eat a lot more and can't. Prayers for you and your kids. Thank you. Prayers for my daughter, girl. I just hope and pray she can work through this. I really do. Because I don't want it to change who she is. She said she ain't never going back to Tuskegee. She said she ain't going back. She said she is sick and tired of this. It just don't make no sense. So glad he is doing well. He is doing very well. Very well. But you got to think. His tutor just don't tutor on homework. She reteaches everything the teachers taught. So Caden gets a newsletter from the teacher on Monday. The tutor goes over the newsletter. The tutor looks at the skills the teacher is covering for that week, and she teaches Caden her way. It is working. It's working. And then she go over some things, and she goes over his homework, and well, not his homework, but she go over his classwork, look at his classwork to see what they've been doing in class. She teaches him those skills. Caden go to tutoring. Let me see, on Monday he go for an hour. Tuesday he go for an hour and a half. Thursday he go for an hour and a half. So instead of going 4 days a week, he go 3 days a week because he only have hour sessions. Praying for Jasmine and everyone who survived it. Girl, just think. If there were 800 to 1,000 people out there, all them people is traumatized. Every last, and I hate it for those students, those freshmen, or just students in general who go to Tuskegee and who are still there on campus. Honey, I'm telling you, I don't know what I would do. I would go pick Jazz up. That's exactly what I would do. I would have to go pick her up. I would go pick her up from campus, knowing that they had a mass shooting on campus. I would have been down there that Sunday morning picking her up. Or at least let her get with our cousins and then go pick her up from our cousin's house. She would have had to get away from there. Because I would feel like security failed those students. They failed them. Because as much money as it costs for them to go to a private, Tuskegee is not just an HBCU. It is a private institution. It is one of the most prestigious HBCUs there is, except for like Morehouse and Stillman, and you got Howard. Tuskegee ranks up there with them. And honey, when I tell you it's expensive, it's expensive. The only thing is, at least Jasmine had alumni to reach back to help pay her tuition fees. Remember, we talked about that gentleman that she met that summer to help pay her tuition. Yes, I'm sure that was so traumatic. Imagine the parents who are going to remove their kids from school because of security concerns. Yeah, they gonna, I don't blame them. I would. I don't know if I would or not. I don't know. Because The only thing that helped us as a family so much is because our family is, the Grays are our family. If you know anything about Tuskegee, I've talked about it on this show, about the Tuskegee experiment, and when that attorney sued the federal government and won, that's my cousin. They live in around, not in Tuskegee, but everybody know the Grays. They got the biggest law. They got the biggest law firm in Tuskegee, downtown Tuskegee. It says Gray Law Firm. That's my cousins. But anyway, some people knew that, and so anything that would pop off, they would be the first one to help Jazz. Like when she had an accident there, and when she needed help with Miss Tuskegee or anything, anytime she needed help, we had family right there. And then she got an aunt on her dad's side of the family that lived right there in Tuskegee too. So she had family there to assist, to help. So that's the only thing that put me and our family at ease. Other than that, especially when our cousin Anaya Blanchard was murdered in Shorter, Alabama, I wanted to go get Jazz. I did. I was scared. I'm talking about scared for her. Because Montgomery is very bad. Did they do a movie about him? I don't think so. I don't think they did a movie yet. I don't think so. The problem for me is they didn't have measures in place to prevent someone from coming in on campus with a weapon. You know what? And maybe it's just me. I think in a situation like that, when they have football games at like Ole Miss, Mississippi State, you can't take certain bags inside the football stadium. Your bag has to be clear. You can't even take an umbrella into the stadium. I'm pretty sure that's pretty different. I've never been to a Tuskegee game, but I'm pretty sure they don't have those same security measures, which they should have at a HBCU. And they have let me see. They got the little metal one at the games, or they did at Mississippi State and Ole Miss. I've been to both of their games. Tuskegee has had a wonderful history. This is so sad. My mother's father and my granddad graduated from Tuskegee in 1930. Dang, I didn't know that. Patricia, I did not know that. Wow. Tuskegee has an upstanding history, the legacy behind Tuskegee. Look at all our you got Booker T. Washington, Tuskegee. Wasn't Rosa Parks? Did she not go to Tuskegee? Am I right or wrong? I might be wrong. But it's a lot of, and it fails me, of all the black famous people that have gone to Tuskegee. Didn't was it Robin Meade? I think Robin Meade went to Tuskegee. It's a lot of people went to Tuskegee. A lot of people. Of course, they should have had different security measures in place, because you never know what will happen. This is not the first shooting that they've had at Tuskegee. It's not. I believe they just had one in September, if I'm not mistaken. I wish I had my tablet with me. I believe they just had one in... Can somebody look up to see if they just had a shooting in Tuskegee in September? I think it was September. Somebody please. Sylvia, can you look up to see if they just... I think it was September they just had a shooting in Tuskegee. This is not something that they're not familiar with. Mass shooting, yes. But they've had shootings at Tuskegee. And a lot. And most of the time when they have shooting, it's from the locals. Most of the time it's from the daggone locals. It's either from Montgomery. Sad, man. It's so sad that this puts a dark cloud damper on the wonderful memories that she has had there, especially being a former Miss. a minute. She was a Miss Tuskegee? Is she still alive? Is she still alive, Patricia? Was that your mother's father? My granddad graduated from Texas. Oh, you talking about Jazz? Oh yeah. Listen, Jazz says she ain't going back, and I don't know how she gonna get away with that because she recruits for her job. She recruits for Tuskegee, but I don't blame her. I would not want to go back either. Hopefully, she can work through these issues with this traumatic experience that she's experienced. Hopefully she can work through them. But I do not blame her for not wanting to go back. She's talking about your daughter. Oh yeah, I see that. But I don't blame her. Shoot, I don't even want her to go back. Honestly, I don't. And then I was thinking about Caden. Like, I don't even want Caden to go there. But if it could happen at Tuskegee, it can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. It ain't just Tuskegee. It's all the colleges. It can happen at school. It can happen anywhere. Sad. It's really sad. This incident is making national news. AP, CBS, U.S. News, World Report have picked it up. Yeah, World News picked it up on yesterday. My aunt called me, and she knew Jasmine was at the homecoming event because I had sent some pictures to her, and she was like, "How's Jazz doing?" I was like, "How in the world you know?" She said it made World News. I said, "Oh Lord." No, I'm asking you, could you look up, did they have a shooting in Tuskegee in September? I believe they had one in September, if I'm not mistaken. It was September something. They just had one. I might be wrong, but I could have sworn that's what I had read. It's sad, y'all. It's sad. I'm looking, but nothing in September is coming up. I could have sworn I read that. And it's probably gonna be the one is off. It's probably, I'll look it up when I get home. But it's probably not coming up because only thing you see is what's happening this weekend. But I think I had looked it up maybe Sunday, and it was coming up then because the news hadn't picked it up yet. I could have sworn I saw something in September. I did. I know I saw it in September. September something. So. Then, a lot of people, one is all I see. A lot of people probably do not, especially the alumni that was there, probably don't want to talk about this. One, because they don't want to put a disdain on Tuskegee College as well, because anybody that you know that's graduated from an HBCU, they take great pride in their school. You can even tell by our VP graduating from Howard, how she was like, something. They were like, she loved her college. She did her her little watch party there at Howard University. She did her concession speech at Howard University. Any black person that you know graduated from an HBCU take great pride in their school. It says I thought it was September. They just had a shooting. Ain't nobody talking about that. They just had one. I thought it was September, Patricia. Thank you for looking that up. I knew it was September. They just had one. I'm telling you, they have a lot of shootings down there, but it don't make national attention. They do. This is nothing new. They had like, oh, this is something new. Them students there to go to school there, they know this be happening a lot. They do. Because you got to think, you get a lot of people This is significant because it's the 100th homecoming. I think it's significant because I don't even think it got nothing to do with the 100th anniversary. It's because it was recorded. If nobody would have recorded it, nobody would have known about it. Because I'm telling you, people tight-lipped. Ain't nobody... These daggone black colleges tight-lipped. Dang, just like the other shooting nobody knew about. It's been other shootings. I'm telling you, when my daughter was at Tuskegee, her classmate got killed down there on campus. Security has been an issue. They probably gonna do something about it now because all eyes are on Tuskegee. But this has been going on for a while. And not only that, but they had that daggone video it went viral. Everybody was using that one girl who posted that video. And if you remember seeing the video, it was a black girl who was laying on the ground. I think she had on like a white outfit. She laying on the ground, and then you can hear the da 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 da. That video went viral. It was so many news outlets who was asking her, do you mind if we use this video? And she was saying, no, I don't mind. Yes, you can use it. It was at least about 15 news outlets that I saw on Twitter who wanted to use it. It went viral on Twitter. It went the X. It went viral on Facebook. It went viral on TikTok. The same video clip. If you notice, everybody is using that same video clip, except for maybe one or two more. But they're using the same video clip. If nobody had uploaded that, and there were more stuff on Snapchat. Oh my God. My daughter told me, and I didn't want to seem like I was, insensitive. But she said they were posting videos on Snapchat. I ain't on Snapchat. Posting videos of the bodies on Snapchat. Somebody had recorded all of that on Snapchat. And she was like, people keep sending it to me. And I want to ask her, can you send it to me? Because I wanted to see. Not that I'm being insensitive. I know y'all like, dang, like you shouldn't do that. I wanted to see. Not that I would have never posted it, but I really wanted to see. They recorded, I want to see. So, if nobody would have ever recorded that, it would have never went viral. Nobody would have ever known. The lack police staff daily there. I'm so thankful my baby moved back. You right. Listen, police presence is so bad in that area, and there should be something done about that. It really should be. Because, like I said, there should never be... If the campus is coming out saying that the party was a unauthorized party, y'all knew that party was going to happen. It happened every year. And if you know it's going to happen, you do things to prevent it or do things to keep the students safe. Y'all knew that. So that falls on security. That falls on the president of the college. Y'all knew that was going to happen. This is like something, because I asked my daughter, I was like, y'all was in the parking lot? She was like, Mama, this happens all the time. All the time. She said, normally there's campus security there. But it was no campus security there at this time. The campus just trying to cover their butt saying it's unauthorized. It wasn't a pop-up. This is something they do all the time. Just like how, you could be living in a city where we had a gas station here in Tupelo where after a game or after people leave the club, there's an influx of people at this gas station. It's called Dodger's Chicken. I don't even know if they still do it. But everybody would meet up at Dodger's Chicken. They knew every Saturday or every Friday, it was just a bunch of people that would be there. It wasn't nothing that was planned. It's just something that happened. Same as what happened at Tuskegee. Tuskegee trying to cover their butt. My daughter don't go there no more, so I sure can talk. It says that it was on the campus And near the same location, it says the shooter in 2023 where 4 were injured was at West Common. See, this happens there all the time. Girl, you just brought out some stuff. This happens all the time. And if journalists, and I probably should have did my due diligence, but I already knew it happened all the time. I knew. But I should have brought that out on this morning's show. With all them articles is in there. It happens all the time. They always have that. And the campus is aware of that happening. And you know what? If my child went to that school and I knew that happened, I knew they didn't do anything to secure my child, knowing that people have been unalived around that same area, oh, we would have some problems. You hear me? Especially if my child got injured on campus. We would have a whole problem. We would have a problem. And mind you, my daughter been away from that college campus for 2 years. Same stuff going on. I'm a veteran. I mean, for free today. Child. Telling you. That is something. You know what, Patricia? With you bringing that out, I'm about to research every daggone, every shooting that they have had. And I guarantee they all going to be around the same area, around the West Commons. Because that's where the freshmen stay. Freshmen stay there. Freshmen and sophomores stay right there on the West. That's what they say. How you send money? You want to send me money for Veterans Day? I don't believe that, but you might. I don't know. Child, people don't cash at me. And I don't want to be the one saying I'll be out here begging for money, child, because it's enough for them out here. He says CA. It's in my description box. You can go to the about section about me on my channel. You can look at it there. I don't believe you're going to send no money. It shocked the heck out of me. Greg Powell got that Rockefeller money. Child, please. Oh, no, y'all. That's a good point you brought out, Patricia. Very good point. Wow. See how lax news media are and how they guess about things? People do not do their due diligence to research. I already knew that they had shootings, but I didn't know it was documented like that. That's crazy. But like I said, a lot of the HBCUs, it's not just Tuskegee that have this problem. A lot of HBCUs. So if your child go to a HBCU, you need to find out. What are they doing about security measures? What are they doing about security? It is hot out here. Oh, it is so warm. What's the temperature? 71 degrees. Turn that on. Oh, it's warm. Oh, child. AOL headline said Tuskegee University homecoming becomes a war zone. Wow. I'm telling you, this is all the media needed was for something like this to happen, because this puts a bad stain on HBCUs. Shoot, we was already struggling prior to this mass shooting, but now, I mean, to their credit, my daughter said it was like she was in Iraq. She said it was just like gunfire going off for 20 minutes. There were no police. And I talked to my dad this morning about it, and he was like, do you expect the police to go in there during gunfire? He was like, they're not going to go in there. Wouldn't there be some stuff you found out they were sitting on the outside of the campus just waiting till it stopped? Because my daughter did say that you can hear cars and stuff screeching off. And another thing she said was, with as many people that there was like standing in the road, I mean, it was y'all, when I tell you, it was unreal how many people was there and how they was positioned in that parking lot. My daughter, she don't know this to be true. All she know is what she heard as far as the screeching of the cars and the cars engines and stuff revving up. She said she wouldn't be surprised if people had got ran over by a vehicle. Because y'all know what our first reaction is when trouble happens. This is a natural response with anybody. You got that fight or flight mode. You either gonna fight or you gonna run. Yeah. And she said all she could hear was just them cars revving up. And well, I'm not gonna say this because we run it. Girl, what you talking about? My daughter said she think that's the reason why they only reported one person dead is because we started running before the gunfire even popped off. She said they was already running. She said that's what she thinks saved people, because all she remembers seeing was people taking off running. And she said, and then you heard the gunfire. The article that mentions the September shootings was in the Montgomery Advertiser. Wow. See? That it made headline news. I'm telling you, if that video of that gunfire would not have been like like that, and if it had not gone viral, news media wouldn't have picked it up. Ain't no news media, and that even go for the large content creators. They don't talk about topics until it has gone viral. Once it goes viral, then they want the traction. They pick it up. Then they got no choice but to, because everybody talking about it. CNN didn't pick it up until, oh shoot, it was like later on in the morning of Sunday. People had not been talking about it till later on Sunday morning. They weren't talking about it right away. As soon as I heard about it, I posted it. I wanted to post more, but I wanted to respect my daughter. I didn't want to put it out there like that because I knew she was experiencing things, and I didn't know which one of her friends had been unalive, so I did not want to put it out there. I was just trying to respect her, knowing that she was a former Miss Tuskegee. I didn't want to put that information out. So, but, yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Y'all, I've been talking on the phone with y'all over an hour. Caden get out of school in just a minute. I'm be able to go eat lunch. We're going to eat good. We're going to sit down. We're going to eat good. Even if I don't eat all my food, it'll take me probably 2 days to eat it. Eat it today, finish eating it tomorrow, then I eat up the rest on Wednesday. One meal. The article about the September shooting says that the shooting was on a Sunday morning also. See what I'm talking about? That school ought to be, somebody need to bring this out. I wish somebody need to bring this out, really. And it can't be me because my channel is so dang small. I don't get that much traction over here. But they need to put the heat on Tuskegee. They really do, because they need to have better security, y'all. When I tell y'all, that daggum security at Tuskegee like mall cops, for real. They like daggum mall cops. Mall cops probably better than them. But you got to think, who gonna work down there, number one? Because of the people in Tuskegee. They should get off-duty police officers to come down there to work. I don't know. They just need better. They need help. I know that. Sad. That is so sad. I even knew way back then security was lax. And I know good doggone well they could not handle those people coming in and out that. I wonder how many gates they had open this weekend. I know my daughter ain't gonna want to talk about it. She ain't gonna want to talk about it, so I ain't gonna be able to ask her no questions. Article said at least 4 people were injured in Tuskegee during a Sunday morning shooting after what school officials are calling an unauthorized party at Tuskegee University West Cumming housing. See, they know better. They know. They know it's gonna happen. It happens all the time. The influx of people, the crowd, the party, and then the school want to cover their tail and say it's unauthorized. Y'all need to take responsibility. You know it's gonna happen. Have daggone security there. Shoot, shut it down before it even gets started. Matter of fact, here in Tupelo, and I don't know if they still do this, but I know here in Tupelo, the police officer will be at the Dodge's gas station awaiting these people. And when the crowd started forming, you know what they do? Disperse it. That's what they gotta do at Tuskegee. They gotta be better. Sure. Because if they don't do it, enrollment gonna go down. And when enrollment go down, money gonna go down. When money gonna go down, they're gonna try to jack the prices of tuition. And then in the long run, it won't be no more Tuskegee or no HBCUs for that matter. They have to do better. They gotta do better. They got to keep these kids safe. You got to think. You got kids coming right out of college. They going to Montgomery to get their hair done. Because that's what my daughter did. She going to Montgomery, getting their hair done. Then you got to think. You got people coming from every walks of life. And you got people that are in gangs. You got some thugs down there going to Tuskegee. Let's just be real. They go to all schools. And they are unsupervised. And then you mix alcohol with drugs, with freedom, with sex. Because a lot of these kids are having sex at college. Come on. And no parents, no supervision around. I mean, you do got some faculty. You got some dorm room, what do you call those? Those dorm moms or whatever. But they ain't really doing a good job, y'all. They really ain't. And so when that happens, when you get young minds down there, they gonna act a daggone fool. So you gotta have some type of structure. You gotta have some type of security measures, not only to protect a person from themselves, but to protect them from the locals that come down there. Because you gotta think, ain't nothing down there in that area. So when they partying on campus, you know the locals gonna come. Although you have, what is the college there in Montgomery? What is it, Alabama State? Is it Alabama State in Montgomery? I think so. You got Alabama State there in Montgomery. They still gonna come to Tuskegee. These HBCUs, even the different sorority and fraternities, like when they have step shows and stuff like that, and they go to these different colleges, they don't be, like my daughter has gone to Mississippi State for a step show. There's been people from the University of Alabama to come down from Birmingham to go to Tuskegee for a step show. Then you got people who enjoy watching step shows, or people that just want to be a part of the party life because they ain't got nothing going on. They're going to be down there too. You got to have security for these people. Gotta have security. And I ain't talking about mall cop security. I'm talking about real security. Is that a bug? Okay. I'm sick of these bugs flying around. What you said is true. It will lead down the road to low enrollment and closing. Yep. Because for the people who had never heard of Tuskegee, like, the people surrounding Tupelo. A lot of people ain't heard of Tuskegee around here. When you talk about Tuskegee, they be like, where is that? White and black. Where is that? And you tell them, they be like, oh, okay. You tell them all the famous people and how black people have gone there that have, you talk about the Tuskegee Airmen, you talk about the Tuskegee experiment, and they're like, oh, okay. But now you got this negative situation, this shooting, this mass shooting that happened. Ain't nobody gonna want to send that kid down there. Ain't nobody gonna want to do that. No. Ooh, what the heck? That's a stink bug. Ooh, that's a stink bug. Oh, God, that's a stink bug. Oh, my God, I've never seen a gray stink bug. Ooh, child. Ew, that thing look gross. I will show y'all, but I don't want y'all to see where my son go to school at. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, they look so nasty. It look kind of like a grayish, whitish, a grayish color stink bug. Oh, that look gross. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I'm going to do some research, Patricia, about these shootings at Tuskegee and how I believe the university, I ain't going to say I believe, I know the university know, but see, you got to prove it with documentation. And I'm going to pick this back up tomorrow morning. Thanks for y'all tuning in. Oh, he about to open this gate. Even Caidens Elementary School got daggone gate. They got daggone gate. And they got the doggone police, a real police, riding around the school. And this is an elementary school. Why they ain't got that at the university? And they keep the doors locked. They more secure at the elementary school than they are at the, hey, how you doing? Than at the colleges. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in. And all y'all veterans better go get y'all some free food. Bye.